Richmond versus Brisbane. Oscar McInerney with no Stephen Martin again, and for the time being for the Lions. Beaten that time, and it's Neil who gets the first kick forward. Broad comes up with the fist. Good energy, though, by McCarthy. Cameron didn't try and pick it up. Oh, Hipwood, the opportunity was there for him. He lost his footing, as you saw. And Short's going to get the calming influence off to Bolton. There's been a real dash to their midfield, and Broad on the way to build into his best form. 9 goals from 9 games this year. Bangs it up. Berry, the unlikely flyer. Neil trying to get dangerous. The Tigers were ready. Lions so often just pops up in. Kicked 4 goals in the first quarter on Adams, and then the move had to be made. Perfect delivery from Zorko to Hipwood, but the taller bolter has gone to him tonight. Eric Hipwood, can he get the confidence up? Oh, it's tight, but it's there. First blood to the Lions.
And Noah Bolter's been in fantastic form over the past couple of weeks, and you've just got to give him something to think about. So now, you just saw the way he defended that. He was waiting for Hipwood to be the long target, and now he puts a bit of doubt in the mind of Noah Bolter.
Lions as Neil delivers out wide to half forward, and Charlie's got well up the ground. Being watched by Short as the boys identify. The kick goes, and Skinner's up to take the mark. Quick dish back to Cameron. He had a few choices, and this bloke is literally everywhere. Damien Hardwick talked about it, that they wouldn't tag unless they absolutely had to. Lockie Neal's going to try and make them have to. He's kicked 10-9 for the year. And he hits the scoreboard more, and I'm sure Richmond will be well aware of all that.
Yeah, well, that's the challenge for him now, isn't it? And for him to get greater value.
Weeks ago, he said it was a much more Richmond-like game. Broad, with that centering ball, Lynch doesn't really get a run at it. Really finding confidence at the level now. 6 goals, 5 in 5 games for Jake Arts. Down to Lynch again. Andrews is there. Made the initial spoil. Lynch. So they're under pressure with some of their possessions at the moment. Answorth in full stride, runs headlong into the tackle of Pickett, who played a terrific first quarter. Gets his opportunity tonight. Ball could be turned over, but then again, Lyons goes in. Where's the big tackle? Baker slides in. For a moment, Zorko got it forward. Hipwood didn't think he could mark. Tries to play the advantage of Cameron. Terrific duel here with Flostone coming up. He had to be careful, but he might have put the hand in the back.
Making an area as opposed to a man at the moment, which is dangerous with this bloke.
Everything's dangerous with this guy. Charlie Cameron off the left. Couple of early revs.
There's never too much of a concern. There's always a respect for the opposition, but more concern about, okay, we're going to play our way. But you just wonder the psychology for a guy like Charlie Cameron, who he knows Dylan Grimes has had his measure the last 2 times they've played, and he comes out and you're just waiting. Is he going to come to me? Is he coming?
It's a great point you make. It ended up giving a free for the sake of it.
McIntosh, blasting kick, equal numbers deep, opportunity. Well, Andrews came off his man, and his man was still standing, and he was able to flick the handball away to Higgins and put it through.
Concerned about real hard one-on-one matchups. You see Payne there with Revolt. You can see Harris Andrews with Tommy Lynch. But the spoil here from Payne and or Andrews got it wrong.
Sweated on hitting the scoreboard like this, Richmond, over the past few years.
He goes in.
McInerney, though, shuffles it down, although Cochin and Martin able to combine. And again, Andrews left Lynch, which leaves Lynch on his own. And the handball went away, and this time he caps it off himself. Well done, Lambert.
A drop of the ball at your feet. It's a drop of the ball some sort of distance away because of the way he spoils. So if you ever look at this, well, that's just A-class, front and square. And Dustin's just getting to work in the middle of the ground. I mean, who gets the head out is irrelevant over the journey. We're seeing that more and more in footy, unless you're playing for West Coast.
Dusty was sweating on it. Blasts it deep again. Gardner, at the back. This is really interesting that Gardner is playing on Higgins at the moment, and Revolt as opposed to Payne. Did he need to do that? Interesting question. Cochin guides it into the pocket. Castagna, he'll edge around. He's always got a nose for the big sticks. Tosh just adjusted at the last moment. Castagna got a big run at it. Hits the ground. They're dangerous again. Castagna didn't quite get enough on the kick. Lambert again was brilliant in intent. And Lynch likewise. Terrific tackle, but he got boot to ball, and he got a clip with it as well. Chol keeps it alive, back to the square. Numbers are with Brisbane. And in the end, he desperately...
We've seen Harris Andrews come off to affect the spoils and leave Lynch, who eventually laid the tackle, but he was alone in the goals.
Up with McIntosh, Stack as they edge forward. Lambert involved again, goes to Lynch. Revolt backing back. Lynch, Mark, why did he play on? It doesn't hurt him.
Irrespective of whether it does or it doesn't, they'll be taking what they're getting from Lynch on Andrews, because Andrews in the air now has got to second guess himself by side of it. Yep. Leaves and spoils. That's a good thing. Puts some doubt in the opposition.
So he's been busy, hasn't he, Tom Lynch? I
thought that was a little rabbity, but there's nothing in that. It's just a reminder. You've got to get rid of the ball quicker than that.
Out for both teams, because these are the best two teams at creating intercepts in their forward half.
A great tap down to Lyons, who just away to the right time, and that allowed Archie. He just took a step too far. Now Neil, he really makes errors. So Zorko goes back, and again he's astray. But only found his Lyons' opponent, and Lyon got it to McCluggage, who pops up for Charlie. Kicked his 20th goal earlier in the game for the season. 4 goals, 1 last week. The shape's okay. At the Hinds in the grand final last year, but that's a long time ago now. Cochin bursts through, and Martin takes it under immediate pressure from Bailey, but nothing could stop him. He's already said publicly he's got that self-confidence. He can work his way through and get back to something like his best, and that will help. Great strike from Revolt.
In 2009-2010 weren't competitive enough to worry about owning it. But right now you're seeing it. So they've owned the first 7 minutes. Had 6 repeat inside 50s, had 2 legitimate shots at goal, couldn't hit the scoreboard. Richmond go up the other end. A bit of untidy play from both sides, to be honest. But when the opportunity presents, you take your chance.
So far this year too, that ability to create turnover but then go and score from it. So they were red hot last week fixing that up.
Second quarter, Rayner hit it at pace, and you can see what it created. Starcevic, a blasting kick into the 50. Can Cameron versus Grimes? It's Cameron, and he can't. And it's in 2020.
Settle down, Tom Lynch.
Charlie's
Arms down.
lost a shoe. Lost home.
There's no J. Carlisle in that. That was done with a smile.
Allen into the front. Charlie didn't kick. He gets it to Rayner instead. Off balance. Goes across the face slightly, and that's a good break even.
They just open up that boundary side. They're just so dominant through the arcs, but as I mentioned, very potent inside 50.
Tigers are on the move again. A driving kick from Ross. Revolt had to let it bounce. Payne a bit over exuberant. Slightly belated whistle, but the free kick goes to Revolt, who goes to Martin. And with one arm, he almost took the mark. He still found it. Brisbane think they've touched it. Dusty doesn't.
Forward half, beat inside 50 10 times, missed a couple of opportunities. Ball goes down the other, and this is why Dustin, when you can have the debate all you want, it's great, keeps us all interested and occupied, but he can do this. He goes forward, and on their 4th inside 50, kicks their 2nd goal.
It's a spare.
Oh, yeah, that's a little finger bend there.
Pinky finger bend. And when you've got Lynch, Rewalt,
and his kick to the wing, McInerney, Berry had to fight off the tackle, got it to the wing and beyond with McCarthy, looking dangerous. Flostone attacked, he did really well. He paddled it to his own advantage, and Sam Skinner marks, and he's missed it.
Yeah, that's the shot we want.
But his kick was just a little too high, and not a great handball either from Neil. Joel left the first through in his wake. They couldn't really lay a hand on him, but a hand to it as well. Flostone, indiscriminate handball, so rounded up by Lyons and Archie. We go again in the square, and McCarthy shows them how to do it. Tigers at the end of last year, so 4 behinds for the quarter, and that gets in by the barest of margins, but it counts for 6.
They've just slaughtered the opportunity, so it has been a mix of long to a dangerous spot, and we've seen Lockie Neal spot up a kick, we've seen McCluggage spot up a kick, we saw Skinner blow a red-hot chance as well, so they've looked pretty good when they've got it in there, Brisbane. They just haven't been able to convert.
Talking about Smothers in the goal screen.
I was celebrating a good mark.
Some people are getting weary in this festival of football, but not us. Driving ball, Bolton deep for Joel. It's out the back. Did anyone touch it? No, they didn't.
To the ground, you know, through the fact that of necessity, he's been absolutely sensational, this man. He without Edwards in the side, he's the one that's just stepped up and just worked under the ball by Joel on the fortuitous bounce, so you take that all day long.
Well, it's not quite. McInerney thumps it forward up to the 50, away from Hipwood and Bolter. Oh, Bolter again, a bit of a nothing handball. The pressure's certainly on here. The Brisbane line. Skinner gets completely upended. McCluggage good enough. Is McCarthy good enough for a second?
Tigers have had. Mind you, when they're in this mood, they can put goals on quickly.
Bolton was in range then. I'm not sure what he was doing passing into the pocket. Well done, Arts. And now Dusty. Back to Arts. And he just gets it home.
Again, with that run and carry, the role that we've seen Edwards provide so often. Probably could have squared the ball to the top of the 50. He had Reebok there, but here's the value of Martin in the forward 50. So where there is no space, he just buys a metre. Players are they're almost too scared to collapse on him fully because of the power of his fend-off.
So this is the Tigers story. The 7 inside 50s is only for the quarter as opposed to 14, but they've kicked 3 goals. And that's the difference. There's your margin. It's 50.
But Sydney Stack, plenty on the kick. Oh, Jack, he went for the very early right. He got away with it. Play on the call. Archie, fantastic smother by Castagna. Dug in hard for the Tigers. Speculated from Costa. Oh, watch out. Payne. Has to be gone.
Yep. And Jack's about to hit the scoreboard again.
And he hits it right through the middle.
Sense of deja vu about all this. How that's not a free kick is a bit beyond us.
Got away with one there.
He did get away with one, but look at the forward pressure. Look at it. The smother from Castagna. They're on the ball. They're getting a loose ball. Ground ball inside 50. One tackle at it, gets broken. Up he gets. Another tackle in. Gets some support from Jack Higgins. That's just the DNA of the Tigers right there. It's great to see. Great to watch.
Well, Brisbane have got a similar DNA, really. At least this year they have. So forward half pressure, forward half intercepts.
One last go. Short towards the top of the square. They hold their ground. Lynch got Andrews where he wanted him. And the Tigers have put on quite the show in this second turn.
It's just lobbed on top of his head. He doesn't have the ability to run along. So Lynch can initiate the body work. He can get the ball to ground level. And he's done really well there, the big fella, to keep his feet. So that's 3 goals tonight against what many rate as the best key to